So, the other day, I'm listening to one of my songs, one of the recent ones, and my son's there listening with me, and he says, "Hey, Dad, why don't you make cool songs like you used to, where they were all heavy and stuff?" So I thought about it, and I've been thinking about it. Problem is, you need some angry topic. So I've been thinking about it, and this morning I woke up, and by God, I've got a good one. I've got some ideas, and I'm going to try and put them down and make a video. Never done this before. It's probably going to be stupid, but let's see what happens. Here we go. So, first off, an idea I have that I woke up with, it's actually a finger exercise that I used to do to keep my hands stretched out. And my brain's been churning on this thing, and it sort of has come up with this melody that goes on top, but the initial riff's going to be something like this. Something like that, and then I think for the lyrical part, we're just going to kind of break it down. And then, like the chorus. And then some kind of like breakdown, something along these lines, some little nice big gotta work out some kind of little melody there. That's the gist. And the song is, like most of my songs have been lately as I'm getting old, it's about, what is our story going to be? And kind of how forgettable will we be? What can we do that matters? Sitting around and fussing over stupid petty crap is not going to get us anywhere in the future. Like, when you do something, what's it mean in 100 years? Gotta work on that. Anyway, so let's go and see if we can work out some basic drummage to get this thing started. So, on to the drum machine. Alright, so I saved you guys all the trouble of me sitting here futzing and counting and whatnot. I am using Fruity Loops. If you're familiar with it, this is Fruity Loops, or I think it's called FL now. I've been using this software since like before the turn of the century. I've only recently upgraded out of Fruity Loops 3 sometime in the not too distant past. So that initial hand stretch piece that I'm now incorporating into a song is like so I wanted to have like some fat tom fills on top of that. So here we go. And that's going to be the initial sort of, piece that kind of gets you going. And then we're going to step into another one that's going to go, and this is the build right before. That's when we're building up to the next piece. So a couple different parts, and then we're going to go into that jag jag. So that's the next bit. Let's go ahead and just put together some frames of this thing. My favorite part of Fruity Loops is you come in here and you string together your measures, and then you can very simply come up, hit File, Export, and you can export to a wave. So I will be exporting this drum track to a wave straight over to this SD card. And the SD card, I'll be dropping it directly into this Audio Depot folder, and we will talk about the rest in just a moment. Here we have the Tascam 24SD This is a digital 24-channel recorder. It's like your old 4-track, but it's digital. And we have our SD card. And we're going to pop this guy in the back. We just exported our drum track to it. And sorry, my boob lamp is just reflecting in the wrong place. Let me see if I can get a different angle here. Or maybe, oh, here we go. All right, so now we have our song. Let me just clear out a track real quick. What do we got? 23, 24. Yes. Okay. So now we go to the menu button. Audio Depot is already selected. And here we see our story drum wave. This is what we just created in Fruity Loops. And I can hit import right here. And I can choose to import this guy into 23 and 24. This is just my preference to have them all the way off to the right. So, do I want to import it? Yes, I do. Here we go. So, as soon as this is done, all right. So now we have this channel, which is a stereo channel, 23 and 24. We can crank this guy up and see what we got. There we go. Okay, cool. So now let's get a guitar channel in there. Yep, it is a Spark amp. I am so impressed with how well this thing sounds that I've been using it exclusively lately. My Fender is feeling a little depressed right now. So now I can hear it over my monitor speakers. And since the cabinet's in a closet, I don't have to worry about it interfering. I just need to jump on my Bluetooth here and get the tuner up. When you are recording, you tune, you play a little, you tune some more, you play a little, you tune some more. Tune, tune, tune. I have been accused way too many times of not tuning enough, and by God, I don't know that I can possibly tune any more than I already do. Ooh, she's sharp. Sharp again. Must be the weather. Got some humidity going. She's all gone sharp. All right. So let's run through this first. Beefy. Run through the initials, see what we get here. The minute the red light comes on, I can't play anymore. One more time. Work through what I'm going to do with that guitar there. So I'm not going to bore you to tears with it. Let me cycle through this thing and figure out that guitar part, and then we'll come back and we'll look at the lyrics I've come up with and also the bass line. So stand by. So I've got the guitar part worked out. I've laid 2 tracks side by side, and then I've pinged them over to my 1314. So I have one stereo channel that I can fade up and down for my guitar. So before I lay the bass, I'm going to play around with some of this vocal melody and make sure it works. And you're welcome to join me. This is probably going to be miserable. I've done a couple of attempts just to make sure that I'm not a complete fool. So let's see. These days when the hormone down flow, tell me when the regret starts to show. They shot in the streets, this ain't a crime, as we write stories one choice at a time. So, that's that. And I've got another verse and chorus again. I've got a bridge, I haven't figured the bridge out yet. So, the way I'm going to lay these vocals. So, I have a beefy vocal mic here, and I've got a windscreen here so that you don't hear me spitting out my lyrics. This is a Phantom Power mic, and I know that playing shows live and stuff, Phantom Power apparently is not something that every single sound guy knows and understands. All Phantom Power is 48 volts that powers a preamp that's built into this microphone. This microphone has a preamp. An SM57, SM58, and other mics that you might use on a stage don't have a preamp. So don't try to run Phantom Power to a stupid non-preamp mic. Anyway, what that does is it makes this mic really sharp, really crisp. It's a beefy mic because it has a powered preamp built in. And then it comes down to here, and you can see here I have channel 1 is guitar, channel 2 is vocals, because I'm just here alone. Lonely guy. And this board is something I've purchased not too long ago in the grand scheme of life. Behringer. It actually has its own USB interface, so you could record straight to the computer if you wanted. I just hate latency and crap, so I have the Tascam. One of these days, I'm going to have myself a better setup. I've migrated to this room recently. Anyway, so one of the things that is very important if you have this setup is you must have an insert. You see here? This cable splits off into two cables. It's a Y cable, you can see here. And what happens is this mic comes in, goes out of this cable, and comes back in the other cable. So it lets you send it somewhere and receive it back. So where it's going is to this compressor. And compression is probably the most important piece of equipment that you can own if you're doing any kind of recording. You see that little red guy? It's going down when I talk. It's kind of the backwards of a regular meter. What it's doing is it's limiting me down. So when you're recording, very often, if you've got everything set up just right, you're going to find that your faders tend to sit around 0 for a lot of your main tracks. And you'll see on my recorder here, I've got my guitar and I've got my my drums over here, and they're sitting at 0. I've got some other channels that I'm just sitting here waiting to add some things to. But as you are getting your mic set up to record, I generally start out with my faders at 0, and I try to get the best signal I can by tweaking the input gain. You'll watch on the meter here as you're singing. You do a couple of practice singing. You try to get your vocals that are good, strong signal, not clipping, just right. Now, if you do not have a compressor, what's going to happen is when you sing hard, it's going to clip. When you sing soft, there's not going to be enough signal there. So the compressor allows you to sort of squash down those hard, loud pieces, and that also brings up your soft pieces. So this thing helps you maintain a good, solid strength signal as the input is fluctuating up and down. So for a vocal, unbelievably necessary. I mean, you move a little bit away from a mic or get too close to a mic, you want this guy to kind of squash you down. I run guitar, I run everything through it as much as I possibly can. So there's that. So let's lay a vocal track.
Out in the field, many generations past, lay a man whose life is fading fast. These days, though many carry his name, all of his concerns are lost the same. Time has a way to erase want and desire. Culture nor expression survive in this fire. One of these days when the hormone don't flow, that'll be when these regrets starts to show. They shout in the streets, this ain't a crime, as we write our stories one choice at a time. In the mind of the man who sees his fate so close, reality of importance suddenly grows. This moment seems so small in the breath of time. To squander it on pettiness should be a crime. You mortgage generations carrying your name for temporal expression in life's foolish game. One of these days when the hormone don't flow, that'll be when the regret starts to show. They shout in the streets, this ain't a crime, as we write our stories one choice at a time.
That was it. I think I may have missed a couple pieces there, so if so, I'll go back and fix those. But that's it. You don't have to sing too hard. All right, so now let's work on some effects on that. Okay, all right, so now adding effects on the vocals. I always record my vocals dry as a bone. So I don't use any effects on the input. They come out dry. So what I do is, for example, I have the vocals running out to channel 12 here, single channel. And then up here, when I select channel 12, I can come up to my effect out. And I can, oh, I've already got them. Let me see. Come on, focus. You. So, yep, both of my effects are coming out about 65. So what's happening is those effect outs are running out of this cable here, these two cables. They're running into an Alesis MIDI verb. Yes, that's right. An ancient Alesis MIDI verb. I've had it forever. It's my friend. Shut the hell up. And then they're coming back through these two cables here, and I'm going to pipe them down into two channels here on the board. So I can capture effect, and I generally use kind of a quad chorus. Sometimes I'll use a delay. It just depends what kind of song it is. This one I tend to just add a little chorus just to thicken things up a little bit. So I will loop the chorus in to two channels on the board, and what that will do is it will allow me to have control of a stereo effect as needed. I can fill it in as needed. And, you know, still have my dry channel. Always have my dry channel forever and ever and ever, forevermore. And I can just add a little bit of chorus in by bringing up these two channels. Now, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add sort of a spoken track where I'm not really singing, but I'm kind of speaking and just kind of adding a little bit of, you know, gravel to that vocal, and then we'll be good to go, good to mix. All right, just for fun, let's give it a listen without the main vocal and just the effect vocal. You'll see that it's just swimming in it. So if I add this in, let's go.
They shot the streets, this ain't a crime.
As needed.
As we ride story one choice at a time.
So this is a ridiculously long video. I seriously doubt anybody's going to make it to this part. But if you do, my God, seriously, awesome. So do me a favor. I didn't even finish the song here, and it took forever to try and make this video. And you can't even really capture all the nuance and things in here. I don't think people would sit and watch a video over 5 minutes long. I would be really surprised maybe watch a video of my dumbass over 5 minutes long. So you guys tell me, was this worth it? Should I, finish out the song on the rest of the video? Should I make more videos like this? Let me know in the comments. I doubt that anybody wants to see this kind of thing. So thanks everybody. If you did make it this far, holy crap, I love you.